Hey everybody, Mr. Odom here, and today we're going to look at a problem from section 3.2. This is problem number 28. Don't forget you need your pencil, composition book, or notebook paper to take notes. You might need a calculator, you might not. The learning target for this video is I can apply properties of operations to solve word problems. So let's figure out what's important in this problem. So it says the expression 17n plus 11 represents the perimeter of a triangle. So this expression represents the perimeter of this triangle over here. Okay, so that is the perimeter of this triangle. And then we have to write an expression that represents the measure of the third side. So we don't know how long that side is. We got to figure it out. But you have to remember how to find the perimeter in order to do that. To find the perimeter of a triangle means I need to add all these sides together, right? So how can we figure this out? Well, if I think of a simpler problem where I have a triangle and let's say this side is 8 feet. Let's say this side is 6 feet. I don't know what that side is, but let's say my perimeter, let's say the perimeter equals, I don't know, 25 feet. So let's just use numbers instead of expressions. So if I know the perimeter is 25 feet, I know the length of this side, and I know the length of this side, can I figure out what the length of that side is? And you can. Remember, to find the perimeter of the triangle, I need to add 8 plus 6 plus whatever that is. Okay? Well, can I figure out what this is? Yes. If I also look at, if I want to know what the question mark is, I could take the perimeter and I could subtract the 8 from it. I could subtract what, well, let me write it this way. There's lots of different ways we can do this. So I'm going to do it this way. I could subtract 8 from it, and then I could subtract 6 from it. And if I did that, that would give me the answer. 25 minus 8 is 17. 17 minus 6 is 11. Okay, so that's one way we can do this, using numbers. So I'm going to use this idea to help us figure out what this question mark would be if I'm using linear expressions. Okay, so remember the perimeter is 17n plus 11. Just like here, the perimeter was 25. And what did we do? We subtracted 8. Well, instead of 8, we're going to subtract 5n plus 6. And then, so that's subtracting that part. And then we're going to subtract 6. Instead of subtracting 6, we're going to subtract this linear expression. And if we do all this, this will tell us what the value is of this side length. How long is this side length? Okay, that's our question mark. All right, now I have 3 linear expressions. I'm adding, or I have a positive linear expression. I'm subtracting this linear expression. I'm subtracting this linear expression. They're all positive too. So this would be doing exactly the same thing that we did up here. All right, but now we have expressions. So let's simplify this expression. So this is 17 and plus 11. I'm going to use the horizontal method, and I'm just going to add the opposite of these expressions. So I'm going to add the opposite of 5n is negative 5n. The opposite of positive 6 is negative 6. Okay, and then I'm going to add the opposite here. The opposite of 4n is negative 4n. And the opposite of 5 is negative 5. All right? Let's find the like terms. We can find those like terms. I have 17n. I have this term here. Let me erase this part. I'm adding this negative 5n here, and I'm adding this negative 4n here. And I also have these terms that are constants. Positive 11, I'm adding this negative 6, and I'm adding this negative 5. All right, so now let's put these terms together. 17n plus negative 5n plus negative 4n. So notice I put all of these terms together. I'm just going to put one big rectangle around that. And what else do I have? I have plus 11 plus negative 6 plus negative 5. And I'll put a little, I just covered up my plus sign with that. That was good. Let's try that again. And then let's combine these like terms. So 17 plus negative 5 plus negative 4. Well, these two terms, negative 5n plus negative 4n, is just negative 9n. So 17n plus negative 9n. Plus, here I have, and I forgot to put my negative sign. You have to be careful. I forget those things all the time. So I have 11 plus negative 6 plus negative 5. Well, negative 6 plus negative 5, this is going to be plus 11 plus negative 11. All right? And we can go ahead and take this step further. 17n plus negative 9n is just 8n plus 11 plus a negative 11 is just 0. So this is just 8n, and that is in simplest form. So that's what the length of that side would be, okay? 8n, and I could put the units, feet. All right, so here's problem 28, and hopefully that was helpful for you. Let me show you just one more thing real quick. Let's see if I can do this. Let me take this part here. Let me see if I can copy it, and let's see if I can paste it here. I can. All right, so let me take this part again, and just real quick, let me work through it again. So 17n plus 11. So now when I am finding the opposite, I can use this and say, what's the opposite of 5n? Well, it's negative 5n. What's the opposite of 6? It's negative 6. What's the opposite of 4n? It's negative 4n. What's the opposite of positive 5? It's negative 5. So I can also solve the problem this way. You'll see that I get the same answer. Okay, let me put some space in between here. That was a lot of space, sorry. So let's combine these terms. So I have 17n minus 5n minus 4n. I'll put that in a box, just one big box. Plus 11 minus 6 minus 5. I'll put those in the circle. And then we can combine these just like we've done before. 17 minus 5 is 12. 12 minus 4 is 8. And 11 minus 6 is 5. 5 minus 5 is 0. 0. So that is feet. So just wanted to show you how you can solve these problems. If you're comfortable with adding the opposite and changing the terms this way, what you like the way you see it here in blue, then go ahead and do that. If you're not comfortable, then you can do it this way. So you're going to find that there's different ways to solve these problems. I'll try to show you different ways when I can, and then you guys figure out what's the easiest way for you. So this is Mr. Odom. We just worked on a problem from section 3.2. Hopefully that was helpful. You guys are awesome. Thanks for hanging in there with me, and I'll see you soon. I'm out.